Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. I wanted to add more to a few videos ago. I talked about how often or how highly do you speak of a hater, you know, and I was saying, if you have a hater, find three things that's great about that hater or whatever person situation and add to that. So I want to kind of like give um, a couple of examples, on that, just to add to it for it to make better sense. Um, so if you deal with somebody's situation, but let's make it more personal. If you deal with a person that actually might have hurt you, harm you, whatever it may be, so the thought of them, which is always like right up, right here, always blocking you, your growth, your future, your everything. If you've dealt with any situation like that, any person like that, like how do you remove them from here, back here or away, from your sight, from your mindset, so that way you can move on. It's not saying, I'm not saying like forgive them, let it go, and now you guys are cool and friends again. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying it's more for yourself, for you to be able to move forward, for you to be able to breathe a little bit, And so, for example, let's say in my marriage, so let's go there, one of the things that I stand on that helps me is how I view that picture, how I view that situation. Now, even till today, people ask me, "So, how's your marriage?" And I'll say, "It's great, it's good." But I mean it. It comes from a pure place because I mean it. Now, if I was to, let's say, pick at one of the witnesses that experienced my situation, my marriage, that whole thing, the things that would say would change your attitude, would change your mindset, right? I can dwell on those things and capitalize on those things and express my frustration, my anger, or whatever it may be in that situation. However, I choose not to, because by me choosing not to allows me to not only remove that out of my face, but it allows me to move forward with my life. It allows me to open up and meet other people, and I'm not having that hindrance, that impacts. So, for example, I find three things that I can speak of her, right? So, like I said, let's say number one thing that I stand on is when I was locked up. I was gone for 4 years, and in that 4 years, well, I was given a 4 year sentence. So in that 4 years, I did 3 years in prison. Well, wherever I was at, whichever facility I was at, she drove every weekend to come and visit me. Whether the snow was up to here, whatever, she would drive. She would leave 2 3 hours early to come, and come visit me, and we'll get together and we'll share a meal, we'll talk, and all of those things. So that is number one thing that I stand on that allows me to be at peace within myself, right? Number two thing that I stand on is we created a beautiful child, right? So we have a son that is so incredible, so awesome. It's because of her, right? Me and her, we work together to create this beautiful human being. That is another thing that I stand on, right? And then number three thing that I stand on is she accepted me for me, just the way I was. I mean, she knew I was dealing with legal stuff. She knew all these different things, and she didn't judge me, right? So she was there for me. So those three things keeps me having a great energy and a great attitude and a great positivity mindset. So even though we are not together, because you could be like, well, if that was all great, yes, and how come you're not together? No doubt about it. Sure, it sounds great, but my point is, if I was to speak of the things that made us not be together anymore, you'll be like, I see why you're not together. I understand, I get it. But for me, this is not for her, but it's for me, right? I have to have that in my brain for me to be able to be like, and keep moving on with my life. Number two, um, let's say I meet somebody brand new. I'm talking to somebody brand new, and it doesn't work out. Let's just say it doesn't work out. I don't look at the things that made it not work out. I don't entertain that. I look at it more of like, okay, this person was great, it was awesome. I find three, if not more, things about that situation and move on. And what that does for me is that it keeps my energy high, it keeps my spirit high, it keeps me not having to, I guess, block or protect my heart, myself, who I am. It keeps me open for me to be vibrant and not have to bring somebody else's situation or some other experience in the forefront of my now or my tomorrow. Compared to if I was to allow the situations, the ugly, the things that made me, separate from the situation and use that as my everyday life, it changes my whole energy, it changes my ambiance, it changes because then I'm bringing whatever I experienced that was bad and negative forefront to whoever I meet in front of me. It just, I'm always cautious. Is this person going to do this? Is this person going to do that? So I'm always cautious and I'm not able to be free. So when I have a better mindset of the situation, the three things that's great about a person, it keeps my energy high, it keeps my spirits up, it keeps all of these great things up, so that way the person has a fair chance and I'm giving myself a fair chance, but I don't have any blockage, that's blocking me. So that's what I wanted to kind of like add on to that, and hope that makes some kind of a sense. It is important for you, and it's not saying that you find the three things that's great about a person, so therefore you're going to go back to that person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's for you, mentally, emotionally, for you to be able to stand on that, so that way you can function. So it's not saying, well, if this is great about this person, how come you're not back together, or whatever it may be. That's not it. Or any kind of situation, a job or anything. This applies to anything, whether you have a flat tire, whatever it may be. Find three things that was great about the situation, and you'd be amazed on how it changes your mindset, it changes your ambiance, it changes your thought process. So I just wanted to share that. Leave your comments, and let me know what you think, if that makes any sense at all. All right. But anyway, I got some things I got to do over here. So hope you're having a great day. One love, big hugs, and until next time, peace already.